Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Life Talks with M. So for this podcast, gusto kong itakal etong topic na to because it really happens to anyone or everyone rather. And even our economy faces this. Sobrang grabe yung downfall ng economy natin just because of this pandemic. Also, sa mga small businesses or companies na nag-shut down kasi nalugi, ganun. Kasi ang dami talagang restrictions ngayon. And hindi din talaga pwedeng lumabas kung wala kang purpose. And there are companies na nagbabawas ng tao or ang daming nagre-resign, which is really a downfall for lalo na pag big company ka. And also schools na no choice but to close kasi wala hindi talaga muna pwedeng pumasok lalo na pag estudyante ng mga bagets, ganun. Kaya they have no choice but to close the school muna for a while. And also, when it comes to failed relationships, naku, ang dami kong alam ngayon ng mga nagbe-break dahil ang hirap kasi talagang humanap ng paraan. It's so hard to make an effort, lalo na kung hindi ka big time na may sarili kang may private car ka, ganun. Wala, mahirap talaga kasi wala nga din talagang transpo. Kaya, ang daming nagpe-fail na relationships, ganun. Ang daming misunderstandings. That's why there are failed relationships. Anyway, so this topic is going to be dealing with failures or dealing with difficulties in life. So, una kong naisip when it comes to failures is that, why do we fail? Bakit nga ba tayo nagfa-fail? First thing that came into my mind is that we fail because we let our emotions get into us. Diyan pumapasok yung stress, yung pressure, na dapat hindi naman kasi talaga nafe-feel or well, depende sa case though. Pero I'm that type of person kasi na ma-accomplish, eager to accomplish, eager to finish all the tasks in one day. Pero minsan talaga, may mga times na hindi mo talaga matatapos lahat sa isang araw, lalo na pag limited yung time. Since working student ako, after ng work ko, diretso class, online class. Kaya it's so hard for me sometimes to accomplish all the things that I need to do. Kaya, ayun, we fail because we let our emotions get into us. Ibig sabihin, lalo na pagdating sa work pagdating sa work kasi minsan hindi mo naman kailangan tapusin lahat in one day. Ito yung isa sa mga na-realize ko na sinabi din sa akin ng friend ko. Sabi niya sa akin, "Wag mo masyadong isagad yung sarili mo kasi mabu-burnout ka. Kasi meron pa naman trabaho bukas eh. So bakit kailangan mong tapusin lahat ngayon?" Tas parang it struck me kasi parang, oo nga no. 'Pag hindi naman kailangang tapusin agad, 'wag mong sagarin yung sarili mo kasi mabu-burnout ka, and that is so true. Kaya from that time, hindi ko na masyado or na-lessen yung mindset ko na makatapos agad sa isang bagay. Kaya ayun, we fail because masyado nating sine-stress yung sarili natin, to the point na minsan nawawala tayo sa sarili. Hindi naman yung parang baliw type, pero yung eager ka mag-decide agad, gano'n, kahit hindi naman talaga yun yung decision mo or masyado kang, alam mo yun, yung extreme na nararamdaman mo. Kaya dun ko rin na-realize yung essence ng the pause. Kasi minsan pag stressed ka or pressured ka sa work or sa school or sa something, you really have to chill a bit. Pag nasa-stress ka, lumabas ka muna saglit. Mag-phone ka, magpahangin ka, mag-CR ka, tas do the pause para hindi ka magkaroon ng maling decision, hindi ka magkaroon ng maling action. Kaya, do the pause. Another thing why we fail is because we are surrounded by bad people or bad environment. Ganon, meaning, hindi maganda yung mga nasa paligid mo. Toxic, kumbaga. I mean, there are people na BI. Kaya minsan, uy, tara, shot tayo. Yung mga ganon, yung may gagawin ka, pero nag-aya yung mga kaibigan mo. Sige na nga, sama na nga ako sa kanila para hindi ako ma-stress dito sa ginagawa ko. Minsan ganon. Tas minsan, di mo namamalayan na sunod-sunod na pala na ganon. Kaya, hindi mo napapansin na you're failing sa task mo kasi minsan nagpapadala ka sa mga nangyayari sa mundo. Even sa social media, yun yung sinasabi ko na bad environment. Kasi minsan nade-deceive tayo sa mga nakikita natin sa social media, which leads us to comparing ourselves to other people. Ito recently ko lang nagawa kasi na-realize ko how toxic social media is. Pero hindi naman lahat Pero ayun, ang toxic lang kasi recently sa social media. And what I did was, tinanggal ko lahat ng notifications ng social media ko, ng apps ko, except for Viber kasi kailangan ko siya sa work. Pero Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Messenger, blinak ko yung notifications kasi minsan kasi 'di ba, pag may nag-appear na notif sa phone mo, pagkabukas mo ng internet, ang tendency nun is bubuksan mo yun. Bubuksan mo yung notif. Tas mamaya, pagka kunwari nakareply ka na sa comment or sa chat, ang tendency magsascroll ka na, tas minsan mapapastalk ka pa, tas minsan makikita mo na ang ganda ng buhay nila, bakit sila, ganito, ganyan. Tapos mapupunta ka na sa situation na mako-compare mo yung sarili mo sa kanila. Kaya, it's hard. Kasi kailangan din minsan ng social media para makapag-detox ka ng stress na utak. Pero kung negative yung mga makikita mo, might as well mute it. Pero I highly recommend na eliminate it kasi ang sarap ng buhay pag walang social media. Ewan ko, baka sa akin lang yun. Pero kasi ngayon, no choice ako kasi kailangan ko ng Facebook kasi nga nag-aaral ako. Pero besides that, kung wala akong ganap, Viber lang, tsaka Messenger, mabubuhay na ako. Another thing why we fail is because we let our desires decide instead of asking for God's guidance or God's help. Kasi minsan, impatient tayo. Impatient tayo sa answer ni God. Minsan, gusto natin yung mga sagot ora-orada. Kaya minsan, hindi na natin naaantay yung perfect instruction or perfect command or perfect plan ni God para sa atin. Kaya, we sometimes fail kasi yung gusto lang natin yung hinahayaan nating mag-prevail instead of asking for God's guidance or God's plan for us. And lastly, we fail because feeling ko gusto lang tayong turuan ni Lord ng something. He just wants us to learn or He just wants to teach us something. Kaya minsan magugulat ka na lang merong pangyayari sa life mo na sobrang unexpected na hindi mo alam kung para ba sa ikabubuti mo to or sa ikagiginhawa mo, ganun. Pero sabi ko nga, in every bad, there's always a good side. Failure is a bad thing, but merong good side ang failure. Eto, excited akong i-share to kasi recently ko lang din siya natutunan. And ayun, the good thing about failure is that it shapes or it strengthens our personality, where we can know or we can discover our capabilities. Na-realize ko to kasi nung mga times na nasa lowest of the lows ako, hinahanap ko yung reason kung bakit nangyayari sa akin to. Kung bakit kailangan ko siyang pagdaanan. And that's when I try my best or try to improve myself. It shapes our personality kasi dun mo malalaman kung gaano mo kakayang i-conquer yung lowest of the lows mo. Dun mo malalaman yung mga bagay na hindi mo alam na kaya mo palang gawin. For example, being creative into a something. Kunwari, yung mga businesses na nag-shutdown, may mga nag-open na online business, doon may natutong mag-bake, may natutong magluto, ganun. Tas hindi naman sila ganun before. Kaya it really, in times of failure, gagawa at gagawa ka ng paraan to better yourself or to improve yourself. And that's when you will know your capabilities, na yung mga hindi mo pala kayang gawin, kaya mo palang gawin. The good thing about failure is that it reminds us na meron at meron pa tayong things to improve. Kasi isipin mo, kung perfect na lahat ng bagay sa paligid mo or perfect ka na, ano pang may isip mong gawin para i-elevate yung sarili mo? 'Di ba? We experience failure for us to know that there are still things that we should improve to ourselves. Well, not only to ourselves, but also to the things that is happening around us. And lastly, ito yung pinaka-favorite kong thing about failure or good thing about failure is the bouncing back. Ito talaga yung parang magiging motivation mo para mag-strive harder, para ililabas yung better version mo. It makes me realize that every day is another day. Every day is another chance. Another chance to improve yourself. Another chance to bounce back from yesterday. Gets mo? Naisipan kong gawa ng separate podcast yung Art of Bouncing Back kasi gusto kong i-share ng detailed yung kagandahan talaga ng bouncing back. The good thing about bouncing back is maa-apply mo yung mga kaninang good things na nasabi ko. Yung it will shape or it will strengthen your personalities or your capabilities, and it will also remind us na meron pa tayong things to improve. Na every day is a new learning and every day is another chance for you to explore yourself, to make yourself better. Kaya sobra yung kinagandahan talaga ng bouncing back is yung motivation para mag-strive harder ka, nai-improve yung sarili mo, and dun mo malalaman yung capabilities mo and kung gaano ka magiging creative to bring out the 2.0 version of yourself. So with that, before I end this episode, I just wanna share some things to keep in mind or things to remember when it comes to failure. The first thing is failure is life's or God's rather challenge for you. Kasi kung hindi ka madadapa, hindi ka lalapit kay Lord. Pagka hindi ka madadapa, hindi mo malalaman kung ano yung capabilities mo pa. Hindi mo malalaman yung 2.0 version mo. Kaya God or life will really struck us challenges for us para mahasa or ma-mold yung personality natin para maging prepared tayo for God's plan. Isipin mo kung perfect na lahat ng nangyayari sa mundong to, hindi na natin maiisip si God. And minsan nga sa mga simple things na nangyayari sa atin na sobrang thankful na tayo, hindi natin siya naaalalang pasalamatan. Paano pa kaya kung lahat ng bagay sa mundo or ikaw buong personality mo perfect na, edi hindi mo na maiisipang mag-seek kay God. Another thing to keep in mind is that God gives us challenges for us to be closer to Him. Kaya siya nagbibigay ng challenge kasi gusto niyang mas mapalapit tayo sa Kanya. Every time we feel down, every time we are at our lowest of our lows, dun tayo mas nagsisig sa Kanya, and that's what He wants. Kasi sabi nga sa Bible, diba, God is closer to the brokenhearted, to the people who needs strength. Kaya kung nasa situation ka na sobrang nasa lowest of the lows ka, na parang sobrang hopeless mo, sobrang hindi mo na alam yung gagawin mo, lumapit ka kay Lord. Kasi siya yung makakatulong sa'yo, and yung strength na ibibigay niya sa'yo will be a big thing para malaman mo yung purpose mo in life. And don't worry, kasi kung nasa season of failure ka or nasa lowest of the lows ka, always know that God is with you. He is fighting with you. He is fighting for you. Kaya wag kang sumuko. Wag mo siyang sukuan. Gagabayan ka niya in every step of the way. Hanggang sa makita mo yung motivation mo to be a better person and mag-strive harder sa plan niya para sa'yo. And lastly, pray for it. sobrang laki ng power ng prayer kasi ibibigay niya sa'yo in His perfect time. Sabi nga eto life verse ko talaga to kasi in every time that I feel lost and every time that I feel that my anxiety is getting into me, this is what I think of and this is what motivates me to strive harder. Ito talaga yung life verse ko, which is Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 to 7. Sabi dun, don't worry about everything. Instead, pray for everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. Tapos parang, dun pa lang, yun na yung ace mo na para hindi nandyan si Lord. Andyan talaga siya. Kaya, don't forget to pray in everything that you do. Seek guidance, seek for His help. Kasi, yung instructions niya talaga will always be the best and it will really not harm you as long as you listen to Him, as long as sumunod ka sa plano niya para sa'yo. And if you continue to pray, eventually, He will give you the life that you deserve. Ibibigay niya sa'yo yun in His perfect time. You just have to pray for it, ask for His guidance, seek for His help, and I promise He will really give you the life that you deserve and the life na nakalaan para sa'yo. Okay, so I think that's it for this episode. I really enjoyed this topic kasi up until now, I'm still in the process of accepting things whenever I feel like a failure. Kaya I just wanna share this to you kasi gusto ko rin ma-share kung paano ko siya kahit pa paano na-overcome and paano ako naging positive mag-isip when it comes to this kind of circumstances. Ayun, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in and I hope you continue to support this podcast by subscribing, liking, or following sa mga social media platforms. And ayun, thank you guys for listening. I'll see you on my next one. Bye!